Types of narcissism: overt versus covert. From the editorial staff of UnderstandNarcissism.com. Exploring the Shades of Narcissism. Narcissism exists on a spectrum. Understanding this empowers you to identify and navigate the various behaviors, from common self-centered traits to the more extreme patterns seen in Narcissistic Personality Disorder, or NPD. As you begin to recognize narcissistic traits in the people around you, or perhaps even in yourself, it's essential to remember that narcissism is not a one-size-fits-all concept. Narcissism can manifest in various forms, with two primary types often discussed by professionals: overt and covert narcissism. Understanding these types and recognizing when they blend can help you better navigate relationships, avoid manipulation, and protect your mental well-being. What is overt narcissism? Overt narcissism is the more recognizable and often stereotypical form of narcissism. People with overt narcissism display their need for admiration, attention, and status openly and without subtlety. They tend to be confident, assertive, and are often seen as charismatic or charming by others. Key characteristics of overt narcissists: grandiosity. They often exaggerate their sense of self-importance, talking about their achievements and talents in excessive or self-promoting ways. Desire for admiration. Overt narcissists crave admiration and validation, going to great lengths to be in the spotlight or the center of attention. Lack of empathy. Often, overt narcissists struggle to see things from others' perspectives. Focusing on their needs and desires can lead to dismissive or insensitive behavior. Arrogance and superiority. They may act as if they are better than others, frequently looking down on those they perceive as inferior. Because their behavior is so outwardly directed, overt narcissists are typically easier to identify. They dominate conversations, seek praise, and quickly dismiss or challenge anyone questioning them. This type of narcissism often leads to conflicts in relationships, as the overt narcissist's high self-regard and need for control can strain personal and professional connections. What is covert narcissism? While overt narcissism is easily recognizable, covert narcissism presents a more subtle and often confusing profile. Covert narcissists may not appear self-important or entitled at first glance. Instead, they frequently hide behind a facade of vulnerability, insecurity, or hypersensitivity. Despite these differences in behavior, covert narcissists share the same underlying need for validation, admiration, and control as overt narcissists. Key characteristics of covert narcissists: insecurity and sensitivity. Covert narcissists may appear insecure, but this vulnerability often masks a deep need for admiration. They may be hypersensitive to criticism and interpret neutral feedback as personal attacks. Victim mentality. Many covert narcissists see themselves as victims of others' misunderstandings or mistreatment. They may frequently complain about being undervalued or unappreciated. Passive aggressiveness. Rather than confrontation, covert narcissists tend to use passive-aggressive tactics to manipulate others. They may use guilt, silent treatment, or subtle put-downs to achieve control. Resentment and envy. They may envy others, feeling entitled to success or admiration that others receive. Covert narcissists often resent others' achievements, even if they don't openly admit it. Covert narcissism can be incredibly challenging to identify in relationships because it often masquerades as sensitivity or introversion. Unlike overt narcissists who project confidence, covert narcissists may seem shy or unassuming while harboring deep resentment or a sense of superiority over others. Mixed narcissism. A blending of overt and covert traits. It's worth noting that some individuals display traits of both overt and covert narcissism, sometimes called mixed or hybrid narcissism. This blend can make their behavior particularly unpredictable and challenging to manage. People with mixed narcissistic traits may shift between grandiosity and vulnerability, adapting their behaviors based on the audience or situation. For example, they might be confident and attention-seeking in public, but adopt a victim-like stance in private to elicit sympathy. How mixed narcissism manifests. Switching between grandiosity and victimhood. In one setting, they might display overt, attention-seeking behaviors, while in another, they adopt a covert, victim-like stance to elicit sympathy. Combination of direct and passive-aggressive tactics. They might dominate conversations and seek praise, but also rely on covert tactics, like guilt-tripping or silent treatment, to manipulate others when confrontation doesn't work. Adapting to the audience. They might use overt behaviors to attract attention in public or professional settings. They may turn to covert tactics in private or close relationships, leveraging guilt or hypersensitivity to maintain control. Awareness of these mixed traits can help you recognize when someone is switching tactics and prepare for various behaviors. By anticipating their approach, you can protect your emotional well-being. Recognizing overt versus covert narcissism in relationships. Both overt and covert narcissism, and especially mixed narcissism, can disrupt relationships profoundly. Overt narcissists in relationships. They may dominate their partners, seeking constant admiration and using their charisma to control the relationship. Conflicts with overt narcissists are often direct, as they don't hide their sense of entitlement or need for validation. Covert narcissists in relationships. They can be harder to spot because their tactics are more subtle. Covert narcissists may use guilt-tripping, play the victim, or avoid confrontation while maintaining control over their partners. This indirect manipulation can lead to emotional exhaustion for those around them. Mixed narcissists in relationships. Individuals displaying mixed traits can be incredibly disorienting. One day, they may act charming and attention-seeking. The next, they may adopt a victim mentality to evoke sympathy and control. This constant switching can create confusion, making it hard to set boundaries or understand their true intentions. Understanding these distinctions can help you recognize narcissistic patterns early, empowering you to take proactive steps to protect your well-being. This knowledge is your shield against potential harm. Why distinguishing between overt, covert, and mixed narcissism matters. Distinguishing between overt, covert, and mixed narcissism isn't just about labeling. It's a powerful tool that equips you to recognize and manage different types of interactions. Understanding the kind of narcissism you're dealing with can guide you in setting boundaries, managing expectations, and recognizing manipulation tactics. This knowledge is your key to feeling in control. Improved self-protection. Identifying narcissistic behavior can help you stay grounded and avoid getting drawn into manipulative dynamics. Effective communication strategies. Different types of narcissists require different approaches. With overt narcissists, confrontation may work, while with covert narcissists, it's often more practical to establish firm boundaries without engaging in emotional manipulation. For instance, with an overt narcissist, you might need to assertively communicate your needs and expectations, while with a covert narcissist, you might need to set clear limits on what behavior is acceptable. Maintaining mental well-being. Both overt and covert narcissists and those who display mixed traits can take an emotional toll. Recognizing the signs can help you detach emotionally and prioritize your mental health. Next steps and resources. Understanding the types of narcissism can be a powerful tool in navigating challenging relationships. Knowledge empowers you to set boundaries and make informed decisions for your emotional well-being. This exploration of overt, covert, and mixed narcissism marks an essential step toward understanding the complexities of narcissistic behavior. As we continue this series, we'll explore how these behaviors affect personal and professional relationships, offering strategies for setting boundaries, protecting your energy, and fostering resilience. If you or someone you know is struggling with narcissistic dynamics, consider consulting licensed mental health professionals. Links to reputable resources will be available at understandnarcissism.com to support your journey. The information provided in this article is for informational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional advice. We are not licensed clinicians or mental health professionals. For any concerns regarding mental health or personal situations, please seek advice from a qualified professional. For more details, please read our full disclaimer at understandnarcissism.com.